The Lesson 4 learning goal. The student will know the physical features of Florida and be able to interpret the meaning of maps. Here's our scale. To get a 3, which is what you're aiming for, the student demonstrates understanding of the learning goal content. The student will be able to know how weather impacts Florida and be able to explain the effects of weather causes by locating and labeling cultural features on a Florida map, explaining how weather impacts Florida. You will also know the physical features of Florida and be able to interpret the meaning of maps by interpreting political and physical maps using map elements, summarizing contributions immigrant groups make to Florida. That is to get a 3. Okay, page 22. Lesson 4, Florida's population. Write a caption for each picture. Tell what kind of community each picture shows. So in this picture in your book, you write a caption of what is going on here with both of these photos. Pause now and go ahead and do that. About 19 million people live in Florida. There are almost 59,000 square miles in Florida. This means that there are, on average, more than 300 people per square mile. The average for the United States is 79 people per square mile. Florida's high population and limited space makes its population density high. Population density measures how many people, on average, live on 1 square mile of land. The map below shows Florida's population density. So here you go. Here is the heading of the map. The title says Florida's population density. So here's the state of Florida. Naples is down here. Here's our key. It says population density, people per square mile listed over here, and then people per square kilometer listed here. And you have a color code. So when you see the color code, it'll tell you the people per square mile. So over here, let's look at Miami. Here's the dot for Miami. It's in the purple area. So that means more than 250 people live in a square mile. The capital city is in the star, which is up here, Tallahassee. And just a little circle dot, looks like a period there, is just a city. So you've got Tampa, St. Pete, Okeechobee, all these are cities in the state of Florida. Coastal cities, again another headline. You can see from the map that Florida's population density is not the same everywhere in the state. In general, more people live in the coastal areas than live inland. Cities have a high population density because a higher number of people live in a smaller area. The Atlantic coast and Gulf Coast are the areas where you will find most of Florida's biggest cities. Jacksonville has the most land and the most people in a single city in Florida. But the area of Florida with the biggest population is Miami and its surrounding area, over here on the map. Number 1 says circle the areas in Florida with the highest population density. So over here we went over it. Which color over here shows where the highest population density is? Circle those states in your book and pause until you're ready. Jacksonville is a busy port on the Atlantic coast. A port is a place where ships load and unload goods. South of Jacksonville, there are cities along the Atlantic coast that form a large urban area. Urban is a word used to describe cities. Miami is the largest of the southern cities. It is a leading port. It is also the center of Florida's Cuban American population. As in many cities, suburbs are growing up around Miami's urban area. Suburbs are towns near large cities where many people live. The Gulf Coast has a large urban area around Tampa Bay. Tampa is a major port and vacation city. The Florida Aquarium in Tampa is one of the top aquariums in the country. Across the bay from Tampa lies St. Petersburg. It's a popular place for tourists and retired people. On the Panhandle coast, Pensacola is the hub of a smaller urban area. Pensacola is known for its Naval Air Station and National Naval Aviation Museum. So here we go. You can see Florida's most populous cities in 2009. The number of people starting at 2,000 starting at 200,000 going up to 1 million. And then you have the cities: St. Petersburg, Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville. Number 2 says, complete each sentence to compare the populations of Florida's cities. St. Petersburg's population is greater than or less than Jacksonville's population, And Miami's population is greater than or less than Tampa's population. You have to look over in your book at this chart and decide. Pause now and fill it out. Page 24, Inland Communities. Only 2 of Florida's largest cities are found in inland areas. One of them is in Orlando in Central Florida. For years, Orlando was a quiet town. Then in 1971, the Walt Disney World theme park opened nearby. It drew many visitors. Soon, other tourist attractions opened in the area. People moved to Orlando to work in the theme parks, hotels, and restaurants. The population boomed or grew rapidly. Today, Orlando, in great part because of Disney World, is a thriving urban center. It is also a popular vacation spot. Tallahassee, the state capital, is an inland city located in the Panhandle. Tallahassee is the center of Florida state government. Number 3, cause and effect. What effect did the opening of Disney World have on Orlando? Read it up here. Give me a complete sentence or two right down here. Pause now and fill this out. More Florida communities. Florida has many smaller cities. Each has something special to offer. For example, the University of Florida is in Gainesville. That's a college. South of Gainesville, the city of Ocala is called the horse capital of the world. It sits among thousands of acres of horse farms. Daytona Beach on the East Coast is famous for its stock car race, the Daytona 500. Most of Florida's population lives in suburbs. Suburbs started to grow quickly in the 1950s. They grew quickly because of new highways. Highways allowed people who worked in cities to live farther from their jobs. They could drive back and forth to work faster. More and more suburbs began to develop along these routes. This let cities and their suburbs spread out. This is why the towns between West Palm Beach and Miami seem to blend into one huge city. Florida also has lots of small towns in rural areas. Rural is a word that describes the country. Here you will find farms and fruit orchards. You'll also find forests and lakes. Much of rural Florida is covered in wetlands. Number 4, main idea and details. Underline the main idea of the last paragraph. Circle one supporting detail. So here is the last paragraph. Between right here and here, see where it's indented. That means it's a paragraph. Find the main idea and then circle a detail. Remember, that's the breakfast items we talked about. Breakfast is the main idea. The eggs, grits, bacon, sausage, those are the details. Find me the details in this paragraph. Page 25. All around Florida. Florida offers plenty of things to see and do. You have just read about some of the state's cities and what makes them special. Now find them on the map in Florida. Number 5. Find the photo that shows something special about each of the labeled cities on the map. In the blank box by each photo, write the letter of the city that matches the photo. So right here, here's all around Florida. And you're going to find the letter. You've got Tallahassee, Ocala, Orlando, Tampa. Go ahead and fill it out. Which right here, here's a caption, the Florida Aquarium. Where did we read that? Where does it belong? In which city? The state capital. Where's the state capital? It's one of these letters. Fill that out. Then we have Disney World. Where is Disney World from this map and what you read? And a horse farm. One of these letters from these cities, Tampa, Orlando, Ocala, and Tallahassee. Page 26, a diverse state. Lots of people call Florida their home. Many of these people were born here. Their parents and grandparents may have been born here too. Other people were born somewhere else and moved here. People have come to Florida from other states, Canada, Cuba, Haiti, and many other countries. As a result, Florida's population includes many different cultures. Culture is a way of life shared by a group of people. They might share the same religion or language. They might have come from the same country. The cultures these groups share add to the state's diversity or variety. I see a comma and the word or. So diversity or variety. So diversity must mean a variety. They make Florida an exciting place to live. Cultures often have their own customs. A custom is a way of doing things. Cultural customs include holidays, food, and music. Floridians celebrate and share their customs at festivals. For example, each year in Tarpon Springs, the Greek American community hosts a festival. It has traditional Greek food, dancing, and music. Cuban Americans in Miami hold a similar festival. It is called Calle Ocho. Calle Ocho. Remember, that helps me pronounce a word if I don't know how to say it. And it features Latin food, music, and dance. Such celebrations take place all over Florida. So here we have a photo of the girls dancing, and the caption says, "Young dancers wait their turn to perform at the Columbia Pavilion of the Miami Book Fair International." Page 27. Number 6. Fill in the chart with your favorite custom practiced in your community and why you like the custom. What's your favorite custom that you do with your family in your town here in Naples? And why do you like it? Pause for now and fill that out. Number 7, compare and contrast. What do Calle Ocho and the Greek festival in Tarpon Springs have in common? Remember, you can go back here, find the answers. Tell me what they have in common. Number 8. Do you live in a city, a suburb, or a small town, or a rural area? Describe how this affects what you do. We read about this in this chapter. What describes Naples, and how does it affect what you do? Go ahead, fill this out now, and pause.